What's going on, y'all? It's Araneae Storm checking in for the Mars Astrology series. I am Araneae Storm, also known as Crew. You can call me Crew, Araneae Storm, whichever one you feel comfortable with. And I am your Cosmic Rootwork astrologer. I specialize in Mars activations as well as North and South Node consultations. So if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can hit me up at araneastorm.wix.com/info. And all that information will be below. So you could just go ahead and check that out if you would like to. But yeah, we're gonna keep it pushing, keep it going. We're gonna be closing out this week with Mars and Scorpio. But before we get to Mars and Scorpio, we are on to Mars and Libra. So first and foremost, if this is your Mars sign, or if you know somebody that has this Mars sign, or you just kind of following along on this journey with me, welcome. You've come to the right place. So let's talk about Mars. What is Mars? I'm going to have a planetary talk too. So I'm going to go through actually all the planets as well. But I just kind of want to go through like the personal planets in this series so you can kind of get a sense of what your personal planets are, you know what I mean? I'll also get into like aspects. We gonna get into all of it, y'all, so don't even trip. Definitely gonna get into it. So but other than that, Mars is one of my favorite planets in astrology, besides Mercury. They're one of my two favorites out of all of them because it talks about like our sexual drive, our nature, our raw energy that we exude. This is like very much so sacral chakra, solar plexus, root energy. If we're talking about the chakras, this is our personal power. You know what I mean? This is how we get when we get angry and upset, and want to argue, and want to fight. You know what I'm saying? If you pick up pick up a weapon, it's your weapon of choice. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the energy that gets you going. That this is the energy that you exude when you're taking action on things, when you're going towards or going to things. This is the energy that you show when you flirting with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Are you trying to exert this energy to get something that you want? So this is all encompasses is Mars. It's very hot. It's very fiery. It rules over Mars. It rules over Aries and Scorpio. Just so to give you a little bit of the energy that it works with. And this is also what I like to call the Phoenix rising energy as well. When the Phoenix, and I made a video about this on, I think it would be now the week before last. Talking about the Phoenix animal medicine and how you can work with that energy. So yeah, this is Mars encompasses. So when Mars meets with Libra, this is not the type of energy that Mars necessarily, too much, is like super excited in, only because this can be very passive energy for Mars. Like, Libra is not the type of energy that is going to it's gonna take Libra a while to make up its mind. Now, one thing that I can say about Mars and Libra, like when Libra really knows what it wants, and I think because it's opposite Aries, when Libra really knows what they want, it's very easy for them to make a decision. It's very quick for them to be like, this is what I want. But if they're not sure, and if they're kind of, this can definitely be, Mars here can definitely be very wavering energy. Like, I think I do, I don't know if I do. You know what I mean? It's very much so that information, or that much type of energy. This is diplomatic. I think of this energy as being the type of people that, if we're talking about like international, so like doing like international, being a diplomat between countries. So Mars and Libra is very like, this country is like, well, we want this, and this country is like, well, we want this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they tripping. Like, they would call in the Mars and Libra to kind of be like, well, this is kind of what I want, but they and Mars and Libra's like, all right, cool, got you. Then they go over, to the other country, and then the other country's like, they tripping, like, we want this, So then Libra looks at both sides and like, all right, cool. Well, this is how we can kind of meet in the middle. So it's kind of like, I wouldn't necessarily take crossroads energy as much as Scorpio is, but this is like that energy that can meet you in the middle, or will try to meet you in the middle, or will try to see both sides of the situation before making the decision. You feel me? Very much so debate. Mars in Libra is good, definitely for debate team, or, you know, debating my truth against your truth. You know what I mean? Like, that's when I think about the energy of debate. This is very Mars and Libra energy. Mars and Gemini as well, but definitely Mars and Libra if we're talking about cardinal air. This is that energy as well. Style like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like, Mars and Libra got style for fucking days. You want to see and check to see what's being aspected towards this, also what your third house energy is talking about. But for real, like, just on its raw general, this is style for days, because Mars in Libra has a really keen eye for like patterns and, you know, composition and what goes together. Photography would be another thing for Mars in Libra. It just kind of like what people say, you know, I think you have an eye for art, or you have an eye for photography. This is definitely Mars in Libra for that. Very much so, kind of like Mars and Virgo in a sense of like able to pay attention to detail, able to pay attention to the aesthetic of the entire situation. So these are like the event planners, and not just even the event planners, but these are the people that come in for the decor, you know what I mean, that set the mood, that set the scene, that set the vibe, you know what I'm saying. I put on there a vibe. All things beautimous is what I put, you know, the senses. So, you know, Libra needs the smells, like Mars and Taurus. Libra needs the smells. Libra needs the view. Libra needs to touch. Libra needs to feel. Like, you know, it needs to, you know what I mean? Like, if you're coming into, let's just do it. Why not? You coming into the scene, and the first thing you see is like the floral patterns, like as you come into the entrance, you know what I mean? And then it's shit flying on the sides of the damn floral, goddamn mini fireworks and shit going on. And you know what I mean? When you come in, the food is smelling really good, but then you can also smell like the undertone of the incense that's burning in the spot. It's candles lit everywhere. Everybody's kind of dressed up, like, you know what I mean? This is the whole entire aesthetic. This is it just sets the mood, it sets the vibe. So definitely design patterns. Mars and Libra will also be an energy that the type of people that kind of make their own clothes, you know what I mean? Like, they don't want to look like everybody else. They don't want to have on the same thing as everybody else. So they'll take time out to like sew their clothes together, or pay a designer to design their clothes. And they're the type that would be like, yeah, I got this straight from Paris. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this cufflink is from da-da-da-da. My watch, you know, it's custom made. Definitely. You know, it likes to have its own shit, its own flair. Like, this is like feel good energy. Mars and Libra likes to feel good. Like, Mars and Libra, you know, if things get too deep, not to say that Mars and Libra can't, but if things get too deep for Mars and Libra, it's sometimes like, you know, like, I'm listening to you, but like, you know, they kind of like things to be on like a up and up, you know what I mean? Like, this is Venusian energy in Mars, you know what I mean? And it's already kind of irritated there too, so it likes to keep things conflicting energies for Mars and Libra. It doesn't really too much care for. Not to say that it won't try to work with these energies, once again, diplomatic as hell, but it's not the energy that Mars and Libra necessarily wants to step into. Like, they're not looking for a fight. Mars and Aries is looking for a fight, you know what I'm saying, to a certain degree. You know, and I'm not always talking about physical fights, but Mars and Aries is not afraid of the smoke. Libra is not necessarily afraid of the smoke per se, but Libra doesn't like to feel that pull, like, of like, okay, you're trying to argue with me. Why are you trying to argue with me? Like, why? And sometimes it's so crazy because Mars and Libra won't even realize that, like, they'll put themselves in a situation where they have to go back and forth with somebody. Like, and when I say that, it's like, because Mars and Libra also, I noticed, doesn't like to be wrong. It doesn't like to feel, you know what I mean? So Mars and Libra will go toe to toe with you. Well, I didn't ask for that. I didn't say that. Well, that's not what I wanted. That's you. What are you talking about? And it's like, wait a minute, Mars and Libra, like, just chill. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just, you know what I mean? Just relax for a second. You know what I mean? Come back down. You know what I mean? Just come on down, Mars and Libra. Attentive to others' needs. So definitely, kind of like Mars and Cancer, definitely attentive to other people's needs, but very passive when it comes to reaction. Mars and Libra is not really going to necessarily tell you how they feel up front. I feel like if y'all get angry enough though, and somebody puts you in a position where you feel cornered, you will go there. But that's not initially how you respond or react. This is not the type of energy that just gonna come up to you, you know what I mean, in a bar or at a function, in a setting, especially if they feeling you. They kind of, I feel like Mars and Libra is the type of the people that, because they put on like that Venusian kind of like, they have that smooth-esque to them. They kind of, their style and like their energy, that vibration that Mars exudes will attract you to them versus them having to go after you. And I'm not saying this with anybody with you know, when it comes to Mars, that people won't go either way, because it definitely depends, like I said, on the aspects and things, everything that's going on in your chart. But for the most part, Libra is more so like, what's coming to me. It's kind of like Mars and Scorpio, but I'll talk about Mars and Scorpio. It's a little bit different, but it you know, it kind of is like what's coming on to me. Not to say that they won't talk to you, but it won't be in a direct of like, I want you type, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, no, it's very indirect how they try to get to the overall goal, if that makes any sense. Money matters. So Libra is the type, is very business. We always focus on you know, this Venusian energy to be just about love and all that kind of stuff, and to a certain degree it is, but also we got to understand that Libra is about money just as much as Taurus, you know, because they share Venus together. Money, Libra likes the finer things, quality things in life, and so Libra will go the extra mile to get those things. Now, this is not for everybody, so when I say this, I don't want y'all to feel like some of y'all feel like I already, when y'all see this, I already gonna know what I'm about to say. But Mars and Libra will go a little, you know, the extra mile. OnlyFans, no shade to anybody who has OnlyFans, but like, you know, to kind of get that attention, but also kind of, you know, show that sexuality, that sexual, you know what I mean, that just kind of putting that energy out. This is also like the porn stars, you know what I'm saying? And this is kind of goes into Mars and Scorpio as well. But like, this is like the porn stars, maybe prostituting, you know what I'm saying? Or, and like I said, this does not have to do with everybody. I'm just saying this could be it just maybe like another energy that if we're talking about Mars, if we're talking about just like raw sexual energy, can be some of the energy that it can go into. So I'm not saying you out here throwing ass or whatever it is that you do, stripping, whatever the case may be, but this is Mars and Libra. When I think of Mars and Libra, this could be that energy, you know what I mean? Like the vanity, the beauty, you know, and being able to use your looks to get attention, or doing your looks to receive money, or doing your, you know, having looks. Modeling is another thing that Mars and Libra definitely, because it's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and it has a just esque, that very smooth, you know what I'm saying, neo soul kind of esque energy to it. So it's really easy for you to attract things to you or go after things that have to do with your beauty and the way that you look. Very much so a flirt though, you know what I'm saying? Like very, Mars and Libra also has a way with words, very like poetic justice energy, you know what I mean? Like these type of motherfuckers that will write out the poetry for you, you know what I'm saying? Put it, maybe even rap about it, put it in some lyrics, or, you know, tell you they wrote a poem or some shit to you type shit. Very much so activists, you know, of the group. You know, they'll go all in for a cause that they believe in, for or people or situations that they believe in. They are very much so that they will speak up for those things, not afraid to do that. So I say this to say, Mars and Libra, when you're passionate about something, you can tell what you're passionate about just by the way that you respond to things. So, you know, we give Libra the passivity or just, yeah, but when you actually really passionate about something or you care about something, there is no passivity. You know what I mean? Like, you might think about hesitating, but then you just say the shit anyway. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's when you know that you're really in it, whatever the case may be, whatever situation or person it is, because you will not allow other people or a situation to go in on somebody or a situation or whatever cause that you care about. You will speak up. There ain't no passive. So Yeah, y'all don't get it twisted. Like, you know, Libra just ain't just not saying shit. Sometimes Libra just needs the right situation for Libra to be like, all right, in scene, let me go in. You know what I'm saying? You know, Libra likes to be fair. Libra likes things to be fair. Libra likes to be just. But I think one thing that you definitely want to make sure of is just to, you know, make sure that when you are in situations with people that, you know, this is kind of like rose-colored glasses energy as well, as far, especially even Mars and Pisces. This is one thing that y'all two do definitely share, is like seeing things through all the way, that like you don't see that there might be some red flags or some fuck shit and missed. Just saying, you know what I mean? Like putting the rose-colored glasses on so much that you just kind of looking beyond like the fuck shit. But you're really good at managing conflict. You're really good at managing when there's, you know, things going on or things afoot. Definitely the peacemakers of the group. Also, like social butterfly, socialite. You love being with people, love talking to people, love being around people. You know what I mean? Like this is Mars and Libra energy. Like you like to be social. You like to, you know, mix. Very mixy energy as well. So Mars and Libra. Now sexually, you know, I try to keep this because I don't know how long y'all will be, but you know, to my PG babies and stuff like this, in case y'all cut off, you know, regardless, you know, at one point in time, you know, people move into this eventually at some point in their lives, and if you don't, you just don't. That's just not what you do. But for Mars and Libra, like I said, this is like, they like scenes. They like to feel acknowledged, you know. They like to feel, I feel like Mars and Libra would go really well with the Mars and Leo energy, because they like to feel appreciated. They like things to be done for them. They like material things, you know what I mean? Material objects. Like I said, they'll work to get these things or have these things, even though it's air. Even though it's air sign, it's still Venusian energy. So, you know, they're looking for people to stimulate them mentally, you know, stimulate them and give them or bounce, you know, knowledge off of each other, like being able to talk to somebody, a baby, about, for example, like the latest book that they read, or some type of poet. I know I say poetry, but Mars and Libra has a way with words, so I always want to say poetry, or putting them onto some good music, you know what I mean? Taking them out to a place that they've never been, you know, to go eat, or, you know, sightseeing. That's another thing. Mars and Libra is good for sights. I'm thinking that, like, in my head right now, I'm thinking of them on, like, y'all are like if we're talking about you going out on a date with somebody, them taking you out on like a gondola, you know what I'm saying, on a fucking boat where a motherfucker is playing, you know, some fucking, you know, playing a little tune, hip hop, but it's hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Not to say it's for all y'all, but just, you know, or some classical music, and, you know, y'all smoking a blunt and motherfucking, you know, they playing the tune, and y'all kind of just laying in the water, and the boat's all decked out and shit, and y'all just looking at the view and the scene, and just kind of relaxing into each other and really taking in the scene. Just talking about how each other's day was. Like, it's very sensual. Mars and Libra is very sensual energy. It's I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a slow build like Mars and Taurus, as far as, you know, if we talking about sexually. But I feel like that mental connection, that mental stimulation has to happen for Mars and Libra to be kept in order for them to go to that next level. Not to say that Mars and Libra ain't gonna, you know, bust it. You know what I'm saying? But what I am saying is, if you can mentally kind of tap in, if we're talking about Mars and the air signs, if you can mentally really tap into a Mars and Libra, that's one way that you can really get to them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to give y'all the codes and shit like that, but Mars and Libra will appreciate that, you know, that you take the time out. And the thing is about Mars and Libra too, they'll do things to please you. That's one thing I also think. They'll sometimes, and don't take advantage of this, y'all, that ain't Mars and Libra, but want to find a little bit more out about a Mars and Libra. Don't take advantage of this, because they really do care. Mars and Libra, they have to understand too, if we're talking about self-power, self-identity, and things like that with the Mars, you know, they'll sacrifice their own personal needs and their own personal wants, you know what I'm saying, to make you feel better about yourself, or to make you feel like you've been pleased, or you've been appreciated and things like that. So just as much as Mars and Libra will go out of their way to do things for you, I would definitely say for y'all that is in a relationship with Mars and Libra, or y'all dating or something like that, make sure you're doing stuff for Mars and Libra too. You know what I mean? They'll go there. They will go there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, we talking about involved, Mars and Libra is definitely. You also want to, for my unevolved, or just kind of, because we go through dips and waves of that stuff, but just manipulation. Definitely want to watch that. You know what I mean? Just manipulating words, situations, things, or whatever. Just like Mars and Scorpio, Mars and Libra can be very vengeful in a sense. Especially if they're in a relationship with somebody and somebody does them dirty. Mars and Scorpio comes after Mars and Libra, y'all. And I know that's not your sign per se, but I always look at, one thing I want y'all to know, especially that y'all that are kind of following, these series and stuff like that. I always look at the sign and even the house placements, the things that are coming before and after. Because it kind of shows you, like, you're that middle ground of whatever's coming before that and whatever's coming after that. So you've learned that lesson before, and then as you go into the next sign, you're learning, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, this is your sign, the sign that you're in, so we're Mars and Libra, but you still learned from Mars and Virgo, and you're moving into Mars and Scorpio. So you're kind of pulling and picking up from that energy as well, if you feel what I'm saying. And I'll get into that when I start talking about like houses and planets and, just things like that. But, so that's all I really have, I think. Yeah, that's all I really have. Definitely loves to be surrounded by groups, family, people, things like that. But other than that, that is my analysis of Mars and Libra. We're going to be moving into Mars and Scorpio next. Y'all can hit me up, like I said, once again, on all social media at Araneae Storm. And then you can also find me at araneastorm.wix.com/info for more information. Like I said, my name is Crew, but I also go by Araneae Storm. And I'm gonna holla at you on the next one. And also too, make sure y'all go check out my course. It's on my website. Link will be below, that I did for the Mars activation and working with Pluto and your Phoenix rising energy. And yeah, I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.